Senator Feinstein.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I sat in on the judiciary hearing yesterday. It was a subcommittee hearing, but was able to ask some questions. And I want to just make a personal comment, because I've been very proud, and I know Senator Harris is as well, to represent this tech community from California. But I must say, I don't think you get it. I think the fact that you're general counsels, you defend your company, that what we're talking about is a cataclysmic change. What we're talking about is the beginning of cyber warfare. What we're talking about is a major foreign power with the sophistication and ability to involve themselves in a presidential election and sow conflict and discontent all over this country. We are not going to go away, gentlemen. And this is a very big deal. I went home last night with profound disappointment. I asked specific questions. I got vague answers. And that just won't do. You have a huge problem on your hands. And the United States is going to be the first of the countries to bring it to your attention, and others are going to follow, I'm sure, because you bear this responsibility. You've created these platforms, and now they are being misused. And you have to be the ones to do something about it, or we will. And this committee is intelligence. It's different from yesterday. So they're privy to different facts, and they're very potent facts. Let me go back to a couple of questions that I asked yesterday. Mr. Edgett, yesterday you testified that Twitter only began to remove voter suppression posts that told people they could vote by texting or tweeting after you found out about them from other Twitter users. These were illegal tweets. Waiting for users to alert Twitter isn't sufficient. I'll give you another chance. What is Twitter doing to proactively identify illegal voter suppression tweets?
Thank you for letting me address that. We're constantly improving not only on our technology around automated accounts that are trying to amplify these types of messages.
That's not enough.
But also on putting people and technology on the content and the behavior, and trying to make our workflows, our reporting flows more efficient, and using artificial intelligence to prioritize things like the illegal voter suppression ads and other things that we see on the platform, and taking those down faster. We are getting better, but this is a problem that we are focused on getting better at every day.
Well, you have to find a way to prevent them from going up.
That's right, and that's why we tend to.
That's the problem.
Right, that's why we tend to focus on behavior behind the accounts to know before the content goes up. We've seen great strides in other areas not related to that, and so we're trying to take that same solution to this problem set.
Okay, Mr. Walker, I asked your colleague yesterday why Google didn't immediately revoke Russia Today's preferred status after the intelligence community determined and publicly stated that RT was a part of the Russian government's efforts to interfere in our election. Mr. Salgado told me that RT only lost its preferred status because of a, quote, drop in viewership, end quote, not because it was part of the Kremlin's propaganda machine. This response was deeply troubling and frankly did not answer my question. So here it is again. Why didn't Google take any action regarding RT after the intelligence community assessment came out in January of 2017? I'm sorry, your mic isn't on.
Senator, let me start by responding to your initial comments to assure you we take this and have taken this issue very seriously. The question of cyber espionage is one that we have been working on for some years, publicly and privately, working with other companies and working on our own to identify some of these threats. This is one manifestation of that, but not the only one. With regard to RT, we recognize the concerns that have been expressed about RT and concerns about its slanted coverage. This is, of course, a question that goes beyond the internet. RT is covered, its channel is on major cable television stations, on satellite television stations. Its advertising appears in newspapers, magazines, airports. It's run in hotels in pretty much every city in the United States. We have carefully reviewed the content of RT to see that it complies with the policies that we have against hate speech, incitement to violence, etc. So far, we have not found violations, but we continue to look. Beyond that, we think that the key to this area is transparency. That if Americans should have access to information from a wide variety of perspectives, but they should know what they're getting. And so we already, on Google, provide information about the government-funded nature of RT. We're looking at ways to expand that to YouTube and potentially other platforms.
Well, as you might guess, I'm really not satisfied with that. That's sort of been the trend of the testimony all along. I think we're in a different day now. We're at the beginning of what could be cyber war. And you all, as a policy matter, have to really take a look at that and what role you play. I think my time is almost up. Let me try one more. A British report recently concluded that social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube fail to remove extremist material posted by banned jihadists and neo-Nazi groups, even when that material was reported. The source for this is the British Parliament's Home Affairs Select Committee. Last night, we saw a horrific attack on innocent people in New York by an individual who may have been radicalized online. We know one person who is Anwar al-Awlaki, 75,000 hits, the major radicalizer in the United States on the internet. I'm working on legislation to require tech companies to report known terrorist activity on their platforms to law enforcement and to provide law enforcement with civil injunction authority. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Feinstein.